डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी.
Namaskar friends, I am Dr. Kishan Joshi and I welcome you all for this today's grammar session. Today we are going to look into another topic. The title of the topic is parts of speech. As I can say that you must have come across this point, this topic of grammar as part of your learning career. Let me start with the outline of the presentation. As part of this presentation, we are going to deal with these many points: introduction about the point, parts of speech, wherein we are going to discuss total 8 parts of speech: noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and the last, interjection. Questions for discussion and further references. As I said that you must have learnt about this topic as part of your learning career, I mean to say that parts of speech is considered to be the base of English grammar. There are many points, there are many other points as part of grammar as well that we must learn in order to learn English language, but this is also a very important point. Parts of speech are total 8 in number, and some of the grammarians would count them as 10 in numbers. In addition to these 8s, in addition to this list of parts of speech that you can see here, they also add determiners and articles as part of this point. In parts of speech, basically they are divided into 2 different categories: open class item and closed class item. When I say open class item, it covers total 4 parts of speech wherein there are always chances for innovations and changes. So, these 4 open class items as part of parts of speech are noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction and interjection, wherein we are going to place 4 in open class item, and they are noun, adjective, verb and adverb. These 4 can be considered as part of open class item. And when I say closed class item, the closed class item list is pronoun, preposition, conjunction and interjection. So, these 4 are closed class items because there is almost no chance for having any innovations. They are the same since the inception of English grammar, whereas in open class item we can have n number of things entering and exiting. So, here is the first parts of speech that we are going to look into, that is noun. I know friends that you know what nouns are. Nouns are nothing but they are name of person, place and a thing. That is how it is defined. Now, when I say parts of as part of parts of speech, noun is one of the prominent parts of speech. It is also defined. It can also cover. It can also be referred to some of the other things like quality, material, feeling, collection, state, etc. These all names of all the things coming into these many categories become part of noun. Now, noun has many parts within, wherein the first noun can be called proper noun. Proper noun is nothing but a particular name of a person, place and thing. Like Nagpur is a good city to village. Nupur is a good dancer. When I say Nagpur is a name of a particular place. When I say Nupur is a name of a particular girl. Proper noun is a particular noun about a person, place or a thing. It is a name of person, place and thing. When I say common noun, it is a common name that is given to a particular person, place or thing. Once again, when I say Nupur is a good dancer, there can be many dancers. All the people who are good at dancing, they are dancers. So, dancer here becomes italicized word. You can see here it becomes common noun, common for all the dancers. But when it comes to proper, here Nupur is a good dancer, Nupur is a good dancer. So, here dancer becomes common noun. Nagpur is a good city, Nagpur is a beautiful city. When I say city, city is a very general kind of a word. The third category of noun is collective noun. It is a name used to talk about a bunch of a collection of the same thing. When I say bunch of collection means the word family here becomes collective noun. Collective noun is a bunch of something. Family comprises number of members. When I say family, it becomes collective noun. Abstract noun is a name of quality, action or state, etc. For example, happiness, anger, frustration, love, despair, these all are the things which are abstract in their quality, something that we cannot see, something we cannot touch, something that we can only feel. Things which are not tangible all come under abstract noun. And the last, material noun, it is a name of an object, thing, etc. that can be used to make something else. For example, gold for ornament. Now, gold is a material that can be used to make something else. For example, ornaments. We make ornaments out of gold. So, gold here is a material. Oil for cooking food, here oil is a material. Rice for cooking biryani, for example, here rice is a material noun. So, these are the different categories of nouns. If we move ahead, there are certain noun genders, numbers as noun and case, noun cases. There are 4 genders as part of nouns. The first is masculine gender, feminine gender, common gender and neutral gender. When I say neutral gender, if we start from the end, the last one, it is neither a male or a female. It is a neutral kind of a state. For example, bag, bus, pen, child, for example, it is neither If we start with the last one, neutral gender, it is neither a male or a female. It is something else. For example, bag, bus, pen, computer, anything. If we move ahead to the third point, common gender is either a male or a female. Common gender can be a male or a female. For example, child, teacher, parent, can be mother or father, any of both. Feminine gender denotes a female. Feminine is particularly a term that is used for females, washerwoman, aunt. But when I say chairperson, it becomes common gender. Chairperson, not chairman or chairwoman. Common gender, if I want to say, it becomes chairperson. Speaker, for example, becomes a common gender. But when I say feminine gender, it has to be female. Masculine gender denotes a male, very opposite to the previous one, feminine gender. Here, all the names under masculine gender are of males. Milkman, uncle, and the list can go on and on. Now again, if we talk about nouns as numbers, or numbers as nouns, there can be two different types of nouns, countable and uncountable. Now if I want to ask what is countable, I need to ask a question, how many? If I can get the answer, the word is countable noun. But if I don't get exact count that I am asking with the help of the question how many, then I need to ask another question, how much? And when I get the answer of the question how much, it becomes the part of uncountable nouns. So something that we can count, countable, something cannot be counted, something we cannot count is uncountable nouns. Examples are here: book, box, something that we can count; milk, water, ink, something that we cannot count. Now you can understand what is countable and uncountable. Now at the end, if we talk about cases, then we can have total number of cases here, 4. The first one is nominative case. The noun works here as the subject of a verb. That becomes a nominative case. Case is nothing but a place where nouns are placed. They appear in a sentence. It's a position of noun. So here the noun works as subject to a verb. For example, the teacher is a subject that you all have here the teacher is a subject. It is at the subject case, and as you have already studied about this, the teacher becomes subject of a verb punished, and here the noun is at nominative case. The very next point, the very next case is objective case, where noun is the subject of a verb. For example, the teacher punished the student. Now here the student as a noun is objective case noun, because it is at the position of object. The further point, the further case, possessive case. This case denotes possession or authorship or ownership of something. For example, Munir's book. Now here Munir's apostrophe S is showing possession. The book is of Munir. Amish bike. Now if we once again look at the definition, the case denotes possession or authorship. So whose book it is? It is Mihir's book. Whose bike is it? It is Amish bike. And the further one, the last one, dative case. It works as a direct, indirect, dative dative case here, the last case, it works as the direct object of a verb. When I say direct object, the fourth one, dative case, it works as the indirect object of a verb. When I say indirect object, we have learnt about two different types of objects, direct object and indirect object. If it is alone, it is direct object. If there are two objects in a sentence, the first becomes indirect, the second becomes a direct object. So, here we have two objects. I gave Mahesh a book. Now, Mahesh here is an object, a book here is an object, but a book becomes a direct object and Mahesh here is an indirect object. So, this case where Mahesh is placed becomes a dative case. So, that was all about noun. Now, let us move to the another parts of speech, that is pronoun. Pronouns are very important and very interesting to know and very easy even. So, as part of pronouns, there are different categories of pronouns. So, personal pronouns that we all have learned, we all know. In the list we have I, we, you, he, she, it and they. And personal pronouns are those pronouns which can be categorized as part of first person, second person, third person. So, first person, second person, third person, singular, plural, I, we, you, he, she, it and they. So, these all pronouns are personal pronouns. Possessive pronouns. Now, these pronouns are used to express relationship, possession or ownership. For example, my, our, your, his, her, their, its. Now, these all pronouns as part of possessive pronoun can be called dependent form of possessive pronouns. Why they are dependent? Because they are used when the pronoun stands before the noun. When the pronoun is before the noun, they become dependent possessive pronoun. For example, this is my house. My is placed before the noun house here, wherein independent form of possessive pronouns, they are never placed before nouns. Nouns are missing in a sentence, and possessive independent forms are mine, ours, yours, his, hers, theirs, its. Now, these all are part of possessive pronouns only, but still they are different from the previous list, because the previous ones are dependent and these are independent form of possessive pronouns. Now, we can look at the same example here with a minor change. The previous one, this is my house, my pronoun, dependent pronoun just before the noun house, and here this house is mine can certainly clear our doubts. This house is mine. Here mine is independent. It does not require any kind of a support of any noun. So, that is why they are possessive, but these both lists are different. Reciprocal pronouns, the list can be, we can put two here. We can talk about two, each other and one another. When I say each other, it has a relation between two things or two people, but when I say one another, it can have a relation between more than two people. One another can refer to more than two, and each other can refer to two at least, not more than two. Demonstrative pronouns. Now, demonstrative pronouns are those pronouns that demonstrates things or point people in a way. They are explained, they are demonstrated. For example, this is the boy, or that is the chair, or this is the camera. So, in that way I can demonstrate things, I can point things with the help of these 4 words: this, that, these and those. Now this is for near, that is for far, these for near, those for far. These both are singular and these both are plural forms. Very simple to understand. They are demonstrative pronouns. Reflexive pronouns are in a list: myself, reflecting something; ourselves, yourself, yourselves, plural; himself, herself, itself and themselves. They reflect back. Relative pronouns: who, whom, which, what, that. Now here relative pronouns relates or refers back to a noun or a pronoun in a sentence, and they are most of the time they are often used as connectors in a sentence too. Connectors, I mean conjunctions. And the last one, interrogative pronouns. When we are asking questions with the help of WH words here listed, they become pronoun, but they are interrogative pronouns. Who, whom, whose, which, what, these all are the words which can be asked, which can be used for asking questions, and that's why they are interrogative pronouns. Interrogative itself means question. The another list here as part of pronouns is indefinite pronouns. Now wherein we have 2 different categories: universal pronouns and assertive pronouns. In universal pronouns we have each, every and all, and each of you should attend the seminar right now becomes universal within itself when it is addressed to something. It is applicable to everyone. Each, every and all, these 3 are part of universal pronouns. They are pronouns. And when I say assertive pronouns, there is a long list here. We can talk about them. The first is much, many, more and most. Now these all are assertive pronouns, asserting something. Do you want milk is a question, but the assertion will be no, I have much, I have enough. Now the person is asserting something. Little, a little, the little, less, least, few, a few, the few, fewer, fewest, these all are once again assertive. For example, little learning is dangerous thing. When I say little learning means no learning. Little without a article before little is almost negative in meaning. Okay, they also assert something, and they are assertive pronouns. One, the word itself, is an assertive pronoun. The chair is broken, I want to buy one. Now here the one, the new one is a assertive pronoun, asserting something. Someone, somebody, something, these all 3 are once again part of assertive pronoun. For example, someone is knocking at the door. There is something, there is someone who is knocking at the door. Now these all are pronouns by their nature, and these all are part of assertive pronouns. Non-assertive pronouns has a long list. For example, anybody, anyone, anything, either, neither, no, no one, none, nothing, nobody. Example, he can complete with anybody. He can compete, he can compete with anybody. Now here anybody has no assertion, has no confirmation here anywhere. Anybody can be anyone. There is no assertion. That's why they are non-assertive pronouns. Neither of these 2 ideas is acceptable to me. There is no certainty here. Either of these 2 ideas is accepted to me. Once again, there is less amount of certainty, either uncertainty. If I use neither, once again the case will be the same. Neither Sweta nor Revta will visit the museum tomorrow. So no assertion. The last one, Karishma showed no interest in the new film. No assertion. Now without assertion becomes non-assertive pronouns, and assertion becomes assertive pronouns. They are very simple in a way. Now if we move to the third parts of speech, adjective, they are of different types. Adjectives of quality, quantity, number. When I say quality, it is descriptive in nature. It shows the kind of quality of what type of kind, what type of or kind gives the adjective of quality. Now when I ask the question, what type of what kind gives me adjective of the quality? For example, Mr. Maulik Shah is an enthusiastic man. What kind of a man Mr. Maulik Shah is? He is an enthusiastic man. It's an adjective. Descriptive adjective, because it gives me quality of Maulik Shah. The next one is, if you move to the next one is adjective of quantity. Here, how much, how many gives me the correct quantity. For example, there is little milk in the glass. When I say little, here is giving me quality of a milk, quantity of a milk, because there is almost nothing in the glass. That is why little here becomes adjective of quantity, because it gives me the information about quantity. Adjective of number or numeral adjectives, like there are several mistakes in my answer. Several here showing the number becomes adjective of number. And within this adjective of number list, we have three different types of numbers: definite number, indefinite number, and distributive number. They are also called numeral, definite numeral, indefinite numeral, and distributive numeral. Definite numerals are 1, 2, 3, 4 and first, second, third. They are ordinal and cardinal numbers. Indefinite numeral, many, few, some, all, a few. Distributive numbers, when we distribute numbers, the words can be used like each, every, either, neither, and many other words. So here are some of the adjectives of different types: quality, quantity, number. The next one is demonstrative adjectives. Now here it points out which person or thing is meant when I say something. These, those, such people in the house are very important. Now these are the words that can be called demonstrative adjectives, because they demonstrate something. This boy is my student, but that boy is not. Now this, I demonstrate something, and with the help of that I demonstrate something. Interrogative adjectives. Interrogative words like what, which, and whose is a question sentence. In a question sentence, with a noun serves an interrogative function. Interrogative adjective function. For example, which lady is your teacher? Which lady is your teacher? So out of many teachers, we need to point one, and that answer that we are going to get can be the result of this question. What question should I ask you first? What question? There is a long list of questions, but I am going to give you preference that you tell me what question I must ask you. Emphasizing adjective. Own, very are two words. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. becomes emphasizing adjective, because here own, I emphasize here on a word own, because I want to tell you that you must be in your limits, because I emphasize on the word own. Mind your own business. Exclamatory adjectives, like what is something used as exclamatory adjective? Something like, for example, what an idea, sir. Now when I say what an idea, now here the word what here becomes exclamatory adjective, because within a sentence I am using what for an exclamation to make the sentence exclamatory. Verbs, very important. A verb says something about a person or a thing. The verb, the term itself has derived from, has come from the Latin word verbum, which is also called the most important part of a sentence. Now, we all have learned that without a verb we cannot make a single sentence. Verbs are must in a sentence, and to have a sentence it is always required to have a subject and a verb. Now, verbs here can tell us many things. The first thing is, the verb often consists of more than two words, more than one words, two words. For example, I have been playing, have been playing, these all are the list of verbs, and more than one or even two sometimes. A verb tells us what a person or things do. Heth runs, Heth runs, runs is a verb showing what Heth is doing. The earth moves, moves here is a verb because it shows what earth does. What is done to a person or thing? Heth is beaten. Now, what is done to Heth? He is beaten. So, beaten here is also a verb, beaten is also a verb, but here when I say what had happened to Heth, he was beaten. The stick was broken. When I say was broken, both are verbs, but what had happened to stick? It was broken. So, it also tells us something about what had happened to certain person or certain thing. What a person thing is can also be expressed with the help of verbs. For example, the dog is hungry. The dog is hungry. Now, here I can show the present condition of a dog with the help of the verb is. I feel sad. Now, sadness is something that can be felt. Now, here feel is a verb that helps me to understand the present state of a person. Types of verbs are listed here. Transitive verbs and intransitive verbs, very important to know. When an object is needed to understand the meaning of a verb, it's a transitive verb. For example, Ashish eats apples. Ashish eats apples. Vivek was teaching English. When I say transitive, a verb must follow by object. And when I say intransitive verbs, there is no requirement of verbs, there is no requirement of object after verb. For example, he swam a long distance. Now, there is no object in this sentence, though it shows action. The child cries. There is a book on the table. Now, in all three sentences, there is no object anywhere, and that is why the verb becomes intransitive. So, intransitive verbs are never, they do not take object after them, and transitive verbs are those verbs who always take objects after them. finite verb, non-finite verb. Verbs which have past or present form are called finite verbs. They are directly connected with tenses. For example, Amrita plays the piano. Ketan's sister gave her speech. Here gave and plays both are directly connected with tenses. But when I say infinite verbs, they do not have any direct or indirect connections with tenses. Speaking English is unadvisable for interviews. Speaking here is a verb, but it is non-finite verb. Use here as a gerund. Speak English when required is also non-finite verb. Infinitives, when I say they are infinitives is a bare form of verb without to. Let him see. Now there is see is a bare form, root form, and even there is no use of to with the help of see. So it becomes infinitives. Open the door now. For example, open the door now. Open here is a infinitive. Participles are of different types. Past participles, wherein if it is ed form of a verb, where if the verb ends with ed suffix, it becomes regular verb, and if there is no ed, and though we can make the verb part of a past form and past participle, then it becomes irregular verb. For example, have you finished your work? Finish, finished, finished. Ed, ed, past, past participle. They are regular verb. I announced my lost wallet. I announced my lost wallet. Here lost is a verb, but here lost is also working as an adjective because it adds something to the wallet, to the condition of wallet. Mangoes are grown in Gujarat. Here grown in Gujarat is a passive. Grew, grow, grown. Grew sorry, grow, grew and grown. Mangoes are grown in Gujarat. So grown is a past participle form, and as it is past passive voice, it must have past participle form. Present participles are ing verbs, verbs with ing suffixes. The boys are sitting. I always appreciate good thinking. He tried to swim in running water. Thinking is a noun, running is an adjective, but they are form of present participles. He tried to swim in a running water. And the last one, sitting here, I haven't a care in the world. So non-finite verb, sitting here, but though as they are taking ing suffix, they are present participle. Perfect participle expresses completed action in relation to another action. For example, having visited the Taj Mahal, the tourists went to New Delhi. Now one connection is in relation with the another one. So they become part of perfect participle verbs. Adverbs. An adverb modifies the meaning of a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. It modifies. Examples are there. Shloka runs quickly. Runs quickly. Run here is a verb. Quickly adds something to the verb. This is a very sweet mango. Now when I say very is an adjective, it modifies an adjective. Sweet mango. So this is a sweet very sweet mango. Very here is an adverb that modifies an adjective, sweet mango, the word sweet itself. Mohsin reads quite clearly. When I say clearly, it itself is an adverb, and quite is adverb itself. So adverb modifying adverb, adverb modifying adjective, and adverb modifying verbs. And in general, adverbs are something that adds to verbs in general senses, but in different examples we can have adverbs modifying even verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. So there are certain types of adverbs, we quickly go through them. Adverbs of time, adverbs of frequency, adverbs of place, adverbs of manner, adverbs of degree or quantity, adverbs of affirmation or negation, and adverbs of reason. So these all are the list of adverbs, and they modify either of them, a verb, adjective or adverb, but in different forms: time, frequency, place, manner, quantity or degree, affirmation, reason. These are the examples here. You can have a look at them. Prepositions. A preposition is a word that appears before a noun or a pronoun, or even they are used as a link or connectors between a noun and a pronoun, or phrases or any other words which appear in a sentence. They do work as a connector, but they always appear before a noun or a pronoun. They connect the people, objects, time and location in a sentence. Now, same prepositions can be used for three different reasons: to show time, place and movement. Some examples are here listed: in, into, on, at, in, out, out of, off, inside, outside. This is a list of preposition, and they differ in their usage as well. That is something that you can learn as part of your module as well. Conjunctions is a word that is used to connect words, phrases or sentences. Now, as we have learned that we have three different types of sentences: simple, compound, complex and compound complex, 4 different types of sentences. Now, when I say connectors, they connect either of the types of sentences: compound, compound complex and complex sentences. So, 3 different types of sentences can be connected with the help of connectors. The condition is they must connect main sentence with the subordinate one, or 2 coordinate sentences, 2 independent sentences, or 1 main and 1 dependent sentences. They connect either of them. This is a list of coordinating conjunctions connecting main with the dependent one, and here the subordinate conjunctions are here listed. The examples further are given as part of your exercise. And the last parts of speech is interjection. Interjection is nothing but a word, the last one, interjection. Interjection is something that is used to express some sudden feeling or emotion. They are always ended, the sentences are always ended with exclamation mark. The words can be like, for a joy, full emotion or feeling, we say hurrah, or any other word, whose, or any other word. For a grief kind of a feeling, we say alas, with disparity. For surprise, we may use words like ha, what? Now these all are the words which are used to express our emotions, but we need to take care our tone of saying those words as well. They must be appropriate. And approval, to give approval, I can exclaim with the word bravo. Examples are, what a nice work you have done. What a nice work you have done. Wow, we won the match. Interjections, we can have addition to the list, and they also depend on the kind of exposures that we have got as part of our learning span. So basically interjections are to express our feelings and emotions. So that was all about parts of speech. Now as part of questions for discussion, for your further learnings, you can have a look at the exercise, self-study exercises which are placed as part of your module, learning module. And here are the references which have been very helpful for the preparation of module as well as preparation of this video lecture. So thank you for now, and see you next time with another topic. स्वाध्यायः परमः